Early on in the Trump administration, actually right after he got elected, as I was looking at Syria, I found that, hey, there's a U.S. program paid for by taxpayers that is actually arming and providing support to Al-Qaeda in Syria. Why? Because the objective was not to defeat Al-Qaeda, but to overthrow the government of Syria, the Assad regime in Syria. I enlisted in the military after 9/11 to go after those Al-Qaeda Islamist terrorists who attacked us on that day, who want to see their ideology spread around the world, who want to create these caliphates of Islamism. And yet we have politicians who are using taxpayer dollars to provide them with arms, to strengthen them and to support them so they could go over and topple this dictator that we don't like. I met with President Trump shortly after he got elected, talked to him about this and talked to him about the fact that, hey, I'm going to be introducing legislation to stop arming terrorists, which is exactly what I did. Started taking it around to my colleagues. There were a small handful in the House of Representatives, Democrats and Republicans, who joined me on this. And there was one senator who agreed to do it, and that was Rand Paul. I took it to Bernie Sanders, took it to others, people who I thought, like, hey, if there's one thing that we can stand together on, it's to support this one page of legislation
that says Al-Qaeda.
Stop arming terrorists. That's literally what the bill was called, the Stop Arming Terrorists Act. Why was it so controversial that the vast majority of Congress found it too hot to touch? They couldn't and didn't want to add
What's the answer?
their names to it. The answer is they're more interested in waging regime change wars than they are about actually defeating the terrorists who attacked us on 9/11. The ones that every year on 9/11 anniversary, politicians across the country stand up at their podiums and talk about how we have to defeat those who attacked us. We can never forget the threat that they pose. Who's actually doing something about it? But this is what I'm talking about in Washington. You've got politicians who have all this lip service. When it comes down to the core of actually taking action to serve our national security interests, to go after and defeat those who attacked us on 9/11, where are they?